Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank who've inspired me, hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Elon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asser, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skoback, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, and Rabbi let me go over that again, Rabbi Yaron Reuven, tongue twister sometimes. And as well, if you've never checked out my channel, I will have a link below this video to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So this topic is, again, from an email from Rabbi Eli Mansour on something different than the parasha. It's the supreme importance, I call this the supreme importance of the Beracha of Asher Yatzar. Now, you know Asher Yatzar is what we say when we come out of the bathroom. So this is going to tell you more about why it's so important. So the Shulchan Aruch in Siman 6 delineates the halacha of Asher Yatzar. The bracha recited after using the facilities. The Shulchan Aruch, which as a rule is a code of law, makes a rare exception and not only presents the halachot of the bracha, but also offers interpretations of its text as well. This indicates that the bracha is of supreme importance, hence the title. And Maran, which is, I think, Ovadia, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, that's all, I think that's what he means by that, wanted to ensure that the reader would also recite it with proper kavanah. So the Maran offers three interpretations of the first phase of the Beracha, and I think that's who he means because he doesn't say anymore. So, Asher Yatzar et ha'adam bechachma, who created humans with wisdom. So first, bechachma, with wisdom, connotes that Hashem made the human body in a wondrous way, which he explains with the analogy of a balloon, which only holds the air inside of it, which only holds the air inside if it remains whole. If punctured, the balloon loses its air, yet the human body contains air in the lungs, despite the many holes in the body. This is the magical wisdom and the wonder of Hashem's creation, which we see every day but rarely pay attention to. The second interpretation is that wisdom refers to wise sequence in which Hashem created man. First, he created the world with the vegetation and animals to serve as a food chain for humans, and only once the, quote, table was set did he create the man at the end of the sixth day. So the third interpretation of the Shulchan Aruch is that the wisdom in the creation of man refers to the amazing human biology. From the respiratory system to the neurological system to the digestive system, they are all so intricate and detailed. Professors of biology can devote their entire lives just to studying one specific system. One doctor of pediatric neurology once said that he studied the brain for over 50 years, and science has only barely scratched the surface of the unknown potential of the brain. This is the praise of Asher Yatzar. Now, I'm not sure if Maran is actually who I thought it was, but maybe it's someone in the Shulchan Aruch. So don't quote me because I can't guarantee who it is. So I just realized that. But anyway, so continuing on, there is an additional interpretation brought by Mordechai HaKohen of Tzfat, one of the Arizal's disciples. One of the greatest spiritual and moral challenges of a human being is overcoming his ego. Yes, this is true. So when untamed, the ego leads to arrogance and promotes the Yetzer Hara. On the other hand, humility leads to the greatest accomplishments. For example, Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the humblest of all men. Moshe said about himself, Ve'anachnu ma, what are we worth when compared to Hashem? So the bracha of Asher Yatzar enables one to humble himself because it forces him to contemplate his lowly nature, as demonstrated by the fact that he can't go more than a few hours without having to relieve himself. So there you go. You know, it's Hashem is an eternal being, or supreme one, and he's not a being even. He's, eternal, and has no shape, face, form, color, size, whatever. So he never has to go. So for us, it's like, yeah, we're at a different, not at as high of a state. So when considering that he has all these wastes in his body that must be expelled, how arrogant can he become knowing his limitations? Thus, the Chachma wisdom is to be humble as conveyed by the word Chachma, whose letters can be rearranged to spell Koach Ma, meaning what power do I have? Just as Moshe said, Va'anachnu ma, what are we worth? So there you go. So that's good information to know why it's so important, and we have to just kind of humble ourselves to realize that this is an important. And also when you read the bracha, I'm just going to add my own note, is you need to have the attention and the intention. Now, if you don't have one, you should try to get a copy of it online, or you can purchase them, maybe laminated one that you put near the bathroom. And most of them have Hebrew and English, so you can read it. If you don't know the Hebrew and you don't know it well, you don't understand what you're saying, better to say it in English, but know what you're saying. It's so important to know that, because everything is working properly, we can actually function. So that's what it talks about, and in more detail, so you should definitely look it up. And I hope and pray that we will all learn to humble ourselves as much as we can, so we can do Hashem's will, and we can all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis Hamikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.